a case of what I ordered versus what I received.
Okay.
It's going to make it
Can
more
you
simple.
expatiate that? What does that mean?
Okay.
What did you order?
It was a shock to me. It's a shock to everybody, I believe.
Hello, my name is Kende, aka Operakenny. Live again on your favorite show, my show, Your View. Like I always say, it's a show that it's informative and educative. It's a show where I talk to my guests on diverse topics ranging from marriage to politics to life to sex to travel. It's a show where people come in and share the experience. And those experiences, the plan is for them to be beneficial to you. So today I have another guest on my show. She's someone that has find time in a busy schedule to speak to us. If you recall very well, I've been on the series, Japa series. We have been speaking with people from different backgrounds. Thank you, Kat. Thanks for joining. We have been speaking with people from different backgrounds. I've spoken to Pascal from India. I've spoken with someone from Africa. And my guest today, she's someone that migrated from Europe to another country. I will not let the cat out of the bag. I will ask her to introduce herself and we will start the show. So, Kat, good afternoon. How are you doing today?
Hi, Kenny. I'm fine. Good afternoon.
Thank you so much for finding time. I know you are very, very busy. We both know that you are busy. Thank you for creating time to come on my show. The show, it's my show and your view. I present the show and you share your view on the topics that we are discussing. So if you can just introduce yourself shortly to my audience, sorry.
Thank you. I'm Kat. I'm a lorry driver. I've been living in the UK since 2005. Yeah, it's been a while now, so I take it as it's my home now.
Good. So you might see me looking at my right or left hand side while we're on the show. It's not a distraction. I'm not distracted. What I do before the show is I sent out a series of questions to my audience, and they sent out questions that they would like to ask my guest. So if you see me diverting my attention, I'm checking my small iPad that I have here to pick out some of the relevant questions that will be beneficial to my audience. So let's start the show. You said you moved to the United Kingdom in, was it 2005?
Yes, it was actually the first time I visited, and I decided to stay at 2006.
Okay, let's take some step back. You were moving from which country to which country? Where was your birth country? Where did you migrated from? Where did you move from?
It was actually Switzerland, but I was born in Slovakia, so I moved from Slovakia to Switzerland. I was working there and living there.
Then you moved from Switzerland to United Kingdom.
Correct. I flew to London with EasyJet.
So what was the motivation? What motivated you for leaving Switzerland? Switzerland is, with my little understanding, is one of the best countries. So what motivated you for leaving such country to United Kingdom when you did?
I think I was curious because I heard people talking about UK and also the job opportunities a little bit more better in UK, and I was curious about London as well. I wanted to see more of the world in that sense. That's the reason I actually decided to leave Switzerland.
Okay, and how do you have any concern when you were considering coming to the UK, living? I know Switzerland have its own culture, type of food, weather? Do you consider anything of such before taking that bold step of coming to United Kingdom?
Looking at it back, my English wasn't that great. It was the language barrier, but I was a little bit more braver when I was younger. I didn't have other concerns as such. So I actually got a little book, an English book for children, and I just read it, and I learned how to speak gradually, even better when I was in London.
So that improved your English.
Yes, speaking to others is actually almost when you put yourself into uncomfortable situation, you have no other choice but speak, because there's no one else who speaks your mother language, your mother tongue. So you are forced basically to speak the language. So that's how I learn more English, by speaking with others.
Okay, so I don't know about you, but the first time I moved, I take these kind of steps also from Africa to United Kingdom. I was wowed when I got to United Kingdom. Seeing white people, seeing the environment, seeing a lot of things. I was wowed. Do you experience that? I know Europe, Switzerland is not bad, but still coming to United Kingdom, were you wowed in any aspect?
Yes, when I was living in Switzerland, I used to actually visit Paris back and forth to see my friends, and I felt really, really accepted. I didn't felt like let's say, the odd person in either Switzerland or France. I did felt a little bit odd when I got to London, funnily enough, because it was the way people were looking at me. Because when I started talking, I had accent, and by then, around that time, around 2006, there was a lot of people from Poland actually moving into UK, and the general knowledge of British people then wasn't really sharp as such. They wasn't differentiating who is from Poland, who is from another Eastern European country. They didn't even know the difference between Slovakia and Slovenia. And they basically put me in one bag with the Polish people. And I didn't really appreciate it that as such, because yet we are neighbors, but we are all different.
Yeah.
So they thought I'm Polish, which at the beginning I used to take a bit of offense.
Yeah, that's understood. So so your first impression about UK, would you say you were welcomed? Was it accommodating for you? Or people were just looking at you like, where is this lady from? Where is this woman from?
It wasn't welcome. I didn't feel welcome, to be honest with you. Like from the bottom of my heart, if I remember, I really didn't feel welcome. In fact, it was almost a cutting edge of prejudice.
Wow.
The moment I got to London, everybody was so grey. The weather was grey. The buildings were grey. That was my first impression. I actually didn't like it. The very first week, I was actually contemplating to go back.
The very first week that you arrived?
Yeah, the first moment I arrived, it was, I didn't like it.
Wow. So what changed over time? What changed? Now you've been living for how long? What changed?
Actually, strangely enough, I had to change for everything else to change. I had to be also more accepting, also more welcoming, to actually get that back in a way. I had to stop looking at others as if they all are not welcoming. I had to actually find the goodness in people to get it back.
Okay, let's talk about complex. So for some people, when they move from another country to another country, especially if the new country is kind of great in terms of the economy, availability of jobs and all sorts, and the environment, the culture. There's always this complex, inferiority complex that people experience. Did you feel something like that, as if people living in the United Kingdom are superior than you? Were you put into that kind of bracket?
In a sense, yes, I felt like it then, because I had to basically start from scratch. I didn't have a accommodation which I will feel comfortable in. I used to do jobs like cleaning, really like very jobs which I wanted. They are great jobs, but I wanted to basically progress and be a little bit have that job development and personal development. It was really a bit impersonal in London. I got to say, it took me a really long time to fit, and I actually gave up fitting in because it's so multicultural in London, and the fact that nobody really cared about anyone, it's just a rat race. It was actually maybe a wrong place to start. So that emphasized the fact how lonely I felt, basically.
All right. Is there any aspect of the British life that you find challenging or attractive? Maybe their food, like I don't like their food. Maybe the food, maybe the weather, anything that you find challenging or attractive when you moved in?
As I progress in time, there is nothing in their food cuisine which is special. I don't like the food that is tasteless. I ventured up to Scotland and Wales. I still hasn't visited Ireland, but I believe there are more food variety and better cuisine as you live in England. Weather, no, England hasn't got proper winter and hasn't got proper summer. Like in Slovakia, when there is winter, you're building snowmen. Is a real winter, -15, -20. And when there is summer, is real summer. So this weather is not attractive. No. The people, I couldn't get their humor, British humor. Because there's a lot of slang which I didn't understand, and as my English improved, I actually started to understand what it means, what they say, and it's actually funny. They got a good sense of humor, similar to mine, actually.
Yeah. Is there anything that you missed about Switzerland or Slovakia? Anything that you missed?
Friends and family and food. I think the friendships you built from childhood and the friends you had, they are for life. And I haven't managed to actually fully have a great friend or imitate the friendships from childhood, because I find English people really closed-hearted. It's very hard for them to get to know you and be vulnerable and build friendship. They always seems to prefer their own kind to be friends with first.
Yeah, I agree. And that's why I always tell people that UK is very boring. You can be living in a flat that have maybe 6 apartments, and you may not even know your neighbor. You may not know who you live with in the same compound. It's not like that in Africa and some other countries. So do you have like a support system now? And how is that working for you?
Yes, I actually had to start within myself. I said, okay, this is the people I'm dealing with. I got to know them. Okay, this is the problem. So I basically become more open and more chatty and accepting. And so I actually built some support network, and I actually got few English friends, but few which actually have something else in their background. Let's say they're half Greek, they're half Nigerian. They basically have another
Oh,
foreign
you,
women.
you have Nigerian friends?
Yes, my very, very good friend, Hetty, she's from Nigeria.
Which part of
She,
Nigeria do you know?
she's from Hausa,
Wow.
but she's borderline with Yoruba. So she,
Wow. You
yeah,
know almost all the tribe. You've just mentioned two of the biggest tribe in Nigeria, Hausa, Yoruba. You know any other one?
Igbo.
Wow, Igbo. Gosh. So does this your friend teach you anything about Nigeria, our culture, our food, anything, how we
Yes,
speak?
she used to. I used to request for her to make me pepper soup.
Okay.
That was my favorite. Or egusi soup.
You know EGUSI soup. That's my favorite. So, and our pepper soup is not spicy for you?
I actually, even when my stomach now, the digestion isn't great, but I will eat it. I will eat it because I like it.
So you know you can conveniently eat EGUSI soup with what? With what? Swallow?
Yeah, or a fufu.
Wow. FUFU. It's
Yeah.
FUFU, but it's fine. You tried. You pronounce it very well. So you eat FUFU. Have you been to our country? Have you been to Nigeria?
No, I haven't been, but while I was traveling to Paris, I had a lot of Nigerian friends, and also Hetty taught me a lot about the culture. I love other cultures. I find it really interesting, and I love trying other stuff. So it's good to have your heart open to anything, because you never know who is going to be your friend. It could be anyone.
Yeah.
It could be anyone. It might really surprise you. So I try to really. She's amazing. I got another friend, Francine. She's from Jamaica.
Okay.
She also taught me a lot, and we really talk. They're amazing ladies, you know.
Where is this your Nigerian friend now?
She's living in Bedford. We actually used to work together when I used to be optical consultant for Boots. So that's where I know Hetty from, in Bedford. From Bedford. So we stayed in touch, and we found another jobs, but we never stopped being in touch, basically.
Yeah, and I am sure she taught you some of her foods. I'm sure you would teach her some of yours as well.
We have nice cuisine, but you know, Slovakia, when I grew up, we weren't rich. We used to be poor, like you know, oranges and tangerines now you can buy it every day, but we used to have it only for Christmas.
Wow.
Yeah. And the Christmas presents used to be a pair of socks, and we used to be so happy about it.
What century is this?
You know, it seems like it's so long ago, and I don't look that old, but
wow.
You know, when you grow up with the old generation, with old values, you appreciate every little thing, you know, because you didn't have it when you were growing up, but you were so happy. We were so happy. We didn't miss nothing. We had no cares in the world, and we were working on the farm. So I miss those times. Yes. Yeah,
I can understand. So you when you moved to the UK, people have interviewed on this show. Some of them told me that they experienced difficulty in getting into the labor market, in getting their private jobs. Did you experience something like that? Getting something to do, getting a job?
You know, I'm a great believer. I used to worry a lot in life, but I put my faith in God. So whenever I needed anything, I just asked him. And when I went for interview, it's either I get it or not. And I took it as if, okay, if I didn't get this job, that means there's something better for me. So I worried about it a little bit, but I used to just work any type of work. So I become a carer. Home care carer eventually, so I done some like certificates, and I become home care carer, and I used to travel around London to look after old people, and I love old people. There was also ex-mayor of London I looked after.
Wow.
Because he was just a normal person end of the day, and when we became ill, you know, he had to have care. Or I met so many interesting old people. It was very, very, very learning curve. So yeah, from then basically I didn't actually stayed in London that long, because I got to know that I got friends which I study in uni in Slovakia, living in Bedford. So they got to know I'm in London, so they asked me to join them in Bedford. So regarding the job, it was I had open mind to actually do anything to support myself, and I knew one day I will do something bigger.
All right, just a quick question, because while you were talking the other time, I know I can see that you're a religious person. You mentioned God. What religion did you practice?
I grew up as a Catholic, but I don't practice Catholicism. I would say I'm a biblical Christian. So I read Bible and
you go to church on Sundays?
No, because I think God is everywhere.
Well, at least you can study your Bible yourself and experience God being with you, being in His presence while studying the Bible. All right, that's good. So you started doing a lot of jobs, cleaning, carer. So why did you now switch? Is it that you saw those jobs as something you cannot build your career around, or why did you switch to being a lorry driver now?
Very good question. Very, very good question. When Slovakia wasn't in EU, I had to have a work permit in UK. So the work permit was granted on every year basis. So when Slovakia joined EU, the work permit wasn't necessary. But that's just a side note. My dad used to be a lorry driver, and he used to take me in his lorry when I was a kid. I still remember that. And I when he passed away, I wanted to honor him, to actually do what he did. But I became a bus driver first. I drove in few towns, and then I drove a big coaches as well, and the red buses in London, so that I wanted to just get the gist and feel of the roads and get the geographical knowledge, go for experience. And then actually I done the license for lorries to basically honor my late dad.
That's touching. That's fine. That's touching. So where I came from, before I go to that aspect, in terms of education, what level are you? How educated are you, if you can?
Actually, I studied in Slovakia in university, philosophical university, as for art teacher. I'm art teacher by profession.
Yeah.
So I used to teach in Slovakia, but then schools were state schools, which are big schools. It wasn't personalized. I didn't like it. So I do art. I paint and draw. I love art, and that's my calling. That's my gift. I know I got to do that for good. But as we know, that will not pay for the mortgage. That will not pay for the bills. So it's just a hobby at the moment, you know.
Okay,
so I am art teacher, which is I'm not sure what it amounts to as in UK when you are art teacher, the level of degree.
I asked that because people in some other part of the country, when they are educated, maybe to Bachelor of Science, Masters, you can't even advise them to do this kind of job that you are doing. They want to sit in the corner of a very big office, glass office, works on their computer. But your command of English is very, very good. And you were so humble, you could pick up any job and do. And now you choose driving of lorry as a career. People don't do that. How motivated were you to stick to that?
To be honest, you can do anything through him who strengthens you. Anything. And it's like a drive. It's very strange to describe. It's like as if you're not satisfied with what you do. You always want more. In a sense of personal development. I even went to flown helicopters in Northampton to introduce myself to the big manager. I wanted to be a helicopter driver, pilot. But that's when I win a lottery because it's £80,000.
Okay. Yeah. So presently now, how lucrative is that job for people that may be watching this and who are coming into this country? How lucrative is lorry driving? It's high good vehicle, right?
It's a regarding financial it is nice. It is nice. It's obviously you got to work for it. You got to do the exams. You got to do the practical. You got to actually earn it, and then it starts. It didn't finish with that because you're actually driving and you're meeting all kinds of people, and I'm including people who are another male drivers, which they may appear seems to be offended that a woman is driving a big lorry.
Yeah.
So every day I am seeing that on everyday basis since I passed the test and I got the job. Every day I see that.
All right. Now, going back to when you decided to move to the United Kingdom, if we can turn the hand of the time backward again, would you still take that decision, leaving Switzerland or Slovakia and coming to United Kingdom? Or did you have any regrets?
I don't have regrets. I think I would have done it again because no matter where my grandma used to say this, which is very true as I grow older and realizing it. She used to call me little chicken. She said, little chicken, the bread got the same sides everywhere because when you cut it, it's same size. So it doesn't matter where you are. So I think I would have done the same thing. I don't think I regret anything, no.
Yeah, and I suppose presently now you are completely settled in this country. Settled completely, right?
Yes, I am because I got friends, I got my support network, I communicate with my family. I only got my sister left in Slovakia, so I go and see her, she come and see me. So yes, I'm settled. You know, I could not imagine actually going back to Slovakia and start from scratch again. No.
Do you visit home often, going to Slovakia or Switzerland?
I try once a year to go home. Yeah.
So my last questions, I have a few minutes left on the show. These male drivers, where you work or where you've worked, how do you deal with them? Seeing a lady on the steering, on the wheel, how do you deal? I'm very sure there will be a lot of things that they would have said to you, a lot of eyes they would have given you. How do you deal with that?
I do
and
this.
You are still strong. You are still happy doing what you are doing.
You know, you got to make sure when you mature spiritually that you do not let anger overtake over you. So basically, if I have any examples like that, I just wave at them and blow them a kiss and continue.
That's good. That's good. Thank you so much, Kat, for coming to my show and your view. I'm very sure if I invite you some other time, you also create time to come and talk maybe about another topic. I like it that you're spiritual. That is giving me insight on what our next discussion would be. So I'm sure you would honor my invitation and come on the show. Thank you so much. Thank you for creating time. And I wish you all the best. Stay safe. Take care of everything that is yours. And I'll see you when I see you. Thank you so much.
Amen. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. That's it on my show and your view today. It's a wrap. I'm very sure you've gained a lot of insight into what Katharina have said, moving from Slovakia to Switzerland and from Switzerland back to United Kingdom. Like I said, it's a show that encapsulates different topics. This is part of the Jackpot series. I'm doing a series on marriage presently. I'm doing a series on politics, and I'm bringing a lot of guests, people of timber and caliber, people that have a say in their choosing field. Thank you. It's a wrap today on my show and your view. I remain your host, Kainde Oyeni, aka Operakenny. Till next time, that will bring another guest on another topic and another episode of my show, Your View, where you learn everything about something. I remain your host. Stay blessed, stay safe, and I will see you there. Bye.